What's up, everybody? It's another episode of Misunderstood. My name is Za-Quan Peterkin. Um, Here to break the final breakdown of Week 15 NFL season. Wild week. From the Thursday game to the Saturday games to the Sunday games to last night. Congratulations to the Green Bay Packers. Eliminated the Los Angeles Rams out of playoff contention. We're officially going to get a new champion by the middle of February. Um, Good game. The running game stepped up. The Packers running game did their thing. Aaron Rodgers, not the Aaron Rodgers that I know, wasn't the Aaron Rodgers I remember my whole adult life watching NFL football. You know, pedestrian stats. He had about like what, 229 yards, touchdown, interception. You know, I mean that's the main thing I'll pay attention to right there, the touchdown and the interception. I'm not big on interceptions. I'm not big on turnovers. Certain turnovers are, you get sacked. Sometimes it's the quarterback fault. Sometimes it's not. You get fumbled. That's a bang bang move. Anything can happen in that situation. You know, the guy helmet hit your forearm and you lost the ball, or you got hit real well, you lost the ball. It happens. But a interception, either either the quarterback made a bonehead decision or the receiver made a bonehead decision that causes wrongdoing towards the quarterback. I really wish it was a stat when it's the receiver's fault. Because a lot of times it's obvious it's not the quarterback's fault, and when it's the receiver's fault, I really wish it was a stat, like half an interception or something, some type of stat to show your wrongdoings as well. You know what I mean? It's not just on the quarterback, but there's nothing yet. It is what it is. Um, it's what it is. Aaron Rodgers got his one interception with his touchdown, 229. Not the stats I'm used to seeing. Of all honesty, I'm used to seeing stuff like that from like Baker Mayfield. Of all honesty, you know what I mean. Baker Mayfield did close to that, about 111 yards, touchdown, interception, same thing. Got a touchdown, turnover. You know, but the Packers running game, they stepped up. They stepped up big, and let's give some respect to the defense. The defense stopped Baker from becoming the great Baker for a moment, and made sure that they don't get too involved in the game. The game was a little close, but what wasn't as close as the other. A lot of the games happening in week 15, coming down to the last moments of the game and stuff. Like this was a wild week. This was a wild weekend. A wild weekend of NFL football. So many games came down to the wire. You know, but congratulations to Green Bay and Green Bay fans, and better luck next year. Better luck next year, LA. But going back to week 15, with those wild games, man, you know they still talk about that Sin City Miracle, which I hate that name, by the way, because I don't look at that as a miracle. It's not a miracle. It's not a miracle if somebody handed it to you. It's a gift. It's not a miracle. You know, early early up this morning watching Sports Channel. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say names and programs yet, so I'm gonna omit that from the podcast, and at least until I become clear that I am allowed to say certain names and stuff. But me watching a certain sports program this morning, uh, 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 you know, a lovely young woman, she had a name that was awesome. She called it the lunatic lateral. I loved it. Loved it. That's exactly what that was. The lunatic lateral. And I'm not. I wish I knew for sure I could say names. Cause I really want to say her name and give her roses. That's not my. That's not my name. I didn't come up with that. She came up with that, and it's the perfect way to explain what happened in that Raiders Patriots game this past Sunday. The lunatic lateral, perfect. That was perfect. But we had some week 15 was one to remember. It really was. Just Saturday. I hope that you the coach next year because I think that if you had a full, I think if you had a full training camp and everything, the coach would be a little bit different. But I mean, your team did give up 33 points in one half. Like that's pretty crazy, man. How'd you do that? 33 points in one half. Like, score a field goal. Like keep them off your back. Like I don't. Next year, Jeff. Next year, man. Next year. New coach, new team, and hopefully new quarterback. Um, and week 15 is the gift that keeps on giving because, man, Jalen Hurts got hurt. No pun intended. I swear to you. Jalen Hurts get hurt. His shoulder, his throwing shoulder. This is not the time for that. Oh man, hurt on the play from week 15's game. Hurt on the play. You know, like um, not sure what to do if I'm the organization of Philadelphia, from the coaching staff. I'm not sure what to do because I will honestly, you could lose the next 3 games and still make the playoffs. You know, you can. Now, if you really want that number one seed and everything, um, I mean, you could try to have him in there for next week. See, you get that win against the Cowboys, and then sit them week 17, 18. Because you only need like one win, and that one win needs to be that Cowboy win. Because the Cowboys, they could be 3 wins away of taking your spot, and that's because one of those 3 games y'all playing each other. So it's very tough decision what to do. You know, then we need more information on what kind of injury it is. Because right now they say sprain. Is it a sprained? Is it a tear? Is it something? Is it dislocated? Is it something a little bit more serious than a sprain? Because right now y'all saying sprain, and if y'all saying sprain, okay, he gonna put some ice on it. He's gonna rest it. He's not gonna practice the first half of the week. Let's see how he feels about Friday, and then okay, cool, you good? Okay, let's go ahead and play. The fact that there's no other new information with this injury is making me think it's a little bit something a little bit more serious than a sprain. We'll have to see. Though I tell you right now, yesterday's episode of Misunderstood, my debut episode Misunderstood, I said Patrick Mahomes is on his tail with the MVP. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear this. A lot of people is like one game should not take that away from him. But Patrick Mahomes is that much on his tail that one game could possibly take that away from him. It could happen. That one game could actually take that away from him. Especially if he don't play the rest of the season. Because he was that close. He's not. The Eagles and Jalen Hurts are not that far ahead of everybody that they could take games off and still have the same results as if they played. The Eagles could drop 3 games in a row and be in fifth place instead of first. Jalen Hurts could drop this week's game against the Cowboys and be second or even third in the MVP candidacy instead of being the MVP. And one of the reasons why, which is why a lot of people hate the fact that one game might take this away from him. One of the reasons why, because nobody really wants to give him the MVP. So they're looking for every reason, every excuse not to give him the MVP. They want Patrick Mahomes to get MVP. I ain't gonna lie. I want Patrick Mahomes to get MVP. But I'm not gonna take away for what Jalen Hurts did all season long. I'm gonna say it right now on my own podcast. Jalen Hurts is the MVP. But if they find a way to take it from me and give it to Patrick Mahomes, I'll be kind of sad for Jalen Hurts, but at the same time, you know, how it's in sports, man. It's about stars, and I'm not saying Jalen Hurts is not a star, but Patrick Mahomes, that seems like the type of dude that should be MVP every year and the Super Bowl every year, or at least in the AFC championship game every year. And life don't make sense if he's not. Life don't make sense if he's not and with those in those games or winning those trophies. Life don't make sense. So I mean, it's sad to say, but it's the truth, man. Patrick Mahomes is just a more sexier name than Jalen Hurts. Josh Allen is a more sexier name than Jalen Hurts. So if they're gonna find any reason to take this from him, they're gonna take it from him. And this injury, not being a play on this very pivotal Cowboy game, could be that reason. And we'll see what happens, man. I'm watching the sports channels. I'm on the sports forums. I'm waiting for any type of word on Thursday or on Friday. Patrick Mahomes is practicing. He's going to play, or he's on the verge of playing. Right, but seeing uncertain, man, you might as well say see you in the playoffs. Well, I know it's hard to believe, but there are other sports going on other than football. Let's talk some NBA. Speak of MVPs, Giannis is trying to get another one. Is he? He's trying. I don't know. That's a little bit. That's a little bit disrespectful. He's not trying. He's not trying to get another MVP. He wants another championship. He wants another championship, man. He's ready. He's ready. He's like, hey, man, like it's time. It's time for my ring. Even the man don't even care about being in the Eastern Conference Finals again. That's not, he don't even care about that. This man's playing like I want another championship. This man's playing like if it's Game 7 in the Eastern Conference Championship, and I shoot at the last. It's a we're down by one, and I shoot the last shot in the last second, and the ball was an in and out. It went in, hit the wrong part of the rim, popped out, hit the backboard. Look like it's going back in. Ball bounced the wrong way, came out. No shame on that loss. No shame at all. He is playing like he will go in front of that podium and say all 82 plus games this season doesn't mean anything. But you got the MVP. You on NBA first team doesn't mean anything. That's how he's playing. 42 points. 42 points against the number one team in the Western Conference. I believe the Pelicans still is the number one team in the Western Conference. You know, big man Zion only had 18. And, I know that sounds so funny to say that. Which mean only 18? I mean, man, when you're Zion Williams and your team is on the verge of losing a high